Welcome to What's What. I'm your host, Benji, obviously, and the one and only producer, Josh. How's it going?
Good, Benji. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a lot that's actually happening at the moment, including my phone that keeps on buzzing off. So let's just see how we go today. First of all, we're going to go straight into it with the Craig Thompson event that just happened recently. David Tui Tupo won his fight by knockout, as you can see. He actually didn't go up against Mo Hussein. He actually came up against a last minute person called Sean Morris. I didn't know Sean Morris myself. He could actually be a kickboxer or an MMA fighter or whatever, but I haven't actually done my research on him. But yeah, David Tui Tupo has actually won that fight by knockout. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually see it, but you can actually watch it on Compact Sports Network. That's the New Zealand streaming website. Did you able to see it yet or not yet?
No, I haven't.
No, me neither. But it looks like a pretty full-on fight, as you can see there. It looks like he got him good. So yeah, people who want to see that fight can go see that at Combat Sports Network. And that was that fight there. But yeah, it's great to see some heavyweights that are up and coming. David is actually fighting again on the Adrian Taiha fight that's happening on 30th of April. Hopefully we'll get more details about that in the future. But yeah, it's going to be good. Oh, for fuck's sakes, get away. Snap. Coming up next here, we have Alex Hannan. We'll talk about his results. As you can see, Alex Hannan is actually is being known as a different name at the moment. His name is Alex Walters. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't.
I found it quite random. Maybe Alex Hannan was his fight name, and now he's coming off as his actual real name, or it could be vice versa, or you never know. Walters or Hannan was his middle name, and yeah, he's changed his name to Alex Walters. He won his fight to defend the New South Wales state championship, and obviously you can see here, it looks like they had the fight in a shed or something, as you can see. But
that's Willis Meehan right there, right?
Willis Meehan. Oh, actually, yeah. I shouldn't have exited out. We'll look back that at a second. But yeah, he won his fight by TKO in the 4th round, and he's scheduled to come back at the end of the month on the 31st of March. Look at that. Look at that for how that's lining up at the moment. Let's actually go back in and actually see who he was with. Maybe he was
different. Eh? He looks more built,
fit.
He looks more tattooed up, and he is shaving his head, so he looks like a different guy.
Yeah, exactly. The pages.
I'm pretty sure that's Alex. Sorry, that's Willis Meehan next to Alex.
I'm not entirely sure, but possibly. But good on Alex. I'd like to see him fight more often and take more risks. Hopefully, we actually see him fight again. He'll be fighting something a lot more of a challenge in the 31st of March, or even later on in the year, something where he can actually fight for the Australian title or a regional title. Next, we've got Kiki Toa Leutele. He is now fighting Justis Huni on the world title undercard, and it's going to be for a regional title. What do you think about this fight?
Wow, this looks like an exciting matchup. They both look like similar heights. I thought Kiki was a little bit less tall, like a little shorter.
Oh, this is all right here. This is good camera angles. It's all about the camera angles.
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't Huni the guy that beat Paul Gallen?
Yep, he beat Paul Gallen. But yeah, so the good thing here is actually for the IBF Pan Pacific Heavyweight title, the winner actually gets into the top 15 in IBF rankings.
Wow, so this fight is taking place
in Australia. Okay. And yeah, it's pretty good, because if you see, Kiki Toa is coming off a win, draw, and loss. We've had some conversations where he was going to possibly have a rematch with Julius Long, but COVID happened, so all those fights got cancelled. And now that the borders are finally actually open, he can actually go overseas and actually fight this guy right here, Justis Huni. Yeah. And it's going to be on this undercard on the 11th of May. And so in a couple of months, it is going to be televised. So look at that card, though. Like, world title for Jai Opatai versus Marie. Excuse my mispronunciation. Is it Mauritius Paridis or something like that? Yeah. But yeah, it's a world title. Good. It's a massive thing for Australia. It's going to be televised. I hope it's going to be televised here in New Zealand as well. But it's good to have Justis Huni and Kiki Toa Leutele, a New Zealand versus Australian belt, and for the Pan Pacific heavyweight title as well.
Wow, I mean, that could be a main event fight right there.
Well, when we look, we should actually have a look at this title quickly. Who is actually coming through this? We've got Kylie Meehan, who has had this title. Was Travis Walker, who got it from Kylie Meehan. Shane Cameron had it for a very, very long time. Kylie Meehan again. Jimmy Thunder was the first heavyweight to win the title. So yeah.
So a lot of respectable names on that.
Yeah,
held that title.
Yeah. Again, for fuck's sakes. Just, please edit this out. So coming up next, we've got David Light. He's making his in-ring return. We haven't actually seen David Light in ages. You could see him here sparring with Matt, who sparred Joseph Parker when Joseph Parker was fighting Junior Farr. David Light is looking good. We don't have a named opponent against David Light yet, but it'll be good for him to actually get himself in the ring again. 6th of April on a Wednesday. Hopefully it'll be televised here as well. But as you can look down here, it's in the same card as Tyson Turner. So if it is televised here in New Zealand, we get to see Tyson Turner on New Zealand television as well.
And what does it say? There's the World Boxing Organization Oriental Cruiser title. So that's on the line?
Yeah, so that's the title that he won quite a while ago. He won it against Mark Flanagan, and then he defended it successfully against Trent Broadhurst, and again with Mosi Oimatangi. In the past, if you may remember, we thought that title was actually stripped from him because of the fact of his inactivity. In fact, if you go into the WBO rankings right now, the WBO Oriental title is not actually next to his name. So technically, he could actually still be stripped of the title, and this is actually for a vacant title. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty exciting to see him either gain that title or defend that title again, and hopefully against a good Australian cruiserweight fighter.
So who is Tabar?
Where are you looking at? Tabar?
Yeah. David Light's opponent, Tabar. Who's that?
To be announced. Oh no, that's the you weirdo.
Yeah, I can't see his record, man. Trying to look him up.
Let's go to the cruiserweight Australians. Let's see who would be good possibility for him to fight. I mean, like
we all know who we want. We all know who we want him to fight.
Jai Opatai. Yeah, but he's fighting for a world title, so of course he's not going to be fighting. But however, that's a juicy fight right there. Floyd Mason. I know that they want that fight desperately, so there's that opportunity. Any other thing like Jason Watley, it could be a good choice, but he's fighting in April, so I don't see that happening. And then we'll go down a little bit. Benjamin Kelleher is fighting. So he's pretty booked on March. So he could actually be a good option after his fight. But we're going to talk about him later. I guess if we don't go by anyone from here, when we got Liam Cullinan, I guess we'd have to look at New Zealanders and New Zealand options. We go to New Zealand. We've got Joshua Francis as one of the options. We know him pretty well, who just defeated Nicholas Charlumbus. And again, we've got Nicholas Charlumbus, who's another option on top of that.
Well,
and
when I spoke to Dave, I mean, he was calling out Lawrence Okolie, He
Yeah,
wanted
but
that kind of name.
I know he wanted that kind of name. But let's just go to the rankings right here. As this is like the current rankings today. Actually, we'll scroll down
And
when
he
this actually
did
came
seem
out.
pretty optimistic. Like he wasn't
14th of March.
targeting like an
But
Australasian kind of.
yeah, well, Lawrence has just came off a fight, so and this sort of fight is a little
There's
bit
his name, number
unrealistic
15.
at completely like it's a little bit unrealistic at this time because like the amount of money you'd have to come into this would be just ridiculous amount of money. I don't think
What about
Matt
somebody on
Rose,
that list though? Like maybe someone top.
maybe the Asia Pacific champion who's not actually top 15, but he's just got the Asia Pacific champion. Anthony Martinez is actually like let's actually have a closer look. Sorry.
Because I mean, if he's gonna fight in Australia anyways, why not a big name, right? Well, why not somebody in the rankings?
Well, I guess it's also David Light's comeback fight, and like look as you can see here, there's no WBO Oriental title, which means technically by what the rankings says, the rankings are saying that he's stripped of the title. But you know, we're not assuming anything. This is just by observation from what we can see. But anyone, we'd love to see any of these guys. But again, it's how much money they have. If we want to get someone from Canada, that would be great. Who else?
Because he even mentioned number 9, you know, Mikhail Seslak.
Yeah, that I mean, he
Yeah.
actually fought. Didn't he fight for the world title at one point? So that's
Yeah, I think he fought
name.
Lawrence, and I think he got
yeah, and that would be a good name by itself. I mean, of course, I would love anyone from this top 15 list or any of the other top 15 lists from any of the other ranking bodies. But
I mean, all the names you mentioned were good, but I thought I kind of wanted like an overseas, like not over the ditch, but like
yeah, a good overseas fight. Yeah, one of these guys. Well, let's see what's the announcement's going to be. But remember, this is going to be his comeback fight after tearing his Achilles heel or broken ankle. Right. So he might need a little bit of a catch up fight, just to get a tune up while defending the title. Coming up next, we've got this guy who's actually originally from Napier. Is he from Napier or is he from Nelson? He's from Nelson. He's originally from Nelson, and he's now he's a kickboxer. I think he fought MMA. I'm not entirely sure, but he's mostly pro boxing. Ricky Silva. He's fighting again pretty soon. Not a lot of New Zealanders know about him, but it's something I like to spread aware. Who this guy is. He's fighting for the Queensland Cruiserweight title on the 19th of March. He's only got 4 wins to his name. Let's see who those wins are. So pretty like usual wins, like debut.
Waikato.
Waikato, as we are, New Zealander versus New Zealander. Victor, who's an aged boxer, but yeah, he's coming.
That's a pretty good name to have in your record, though. Waikato.
Yeah. I mean, that's because we know who Waikato is. Yeah. And then, this is actually a pretty good card. This is happening this weekend on Saturday.
Okay, there's a couple fighters that I thought were retired. Like I didn't know. Oh, sorry, that's not Brian Minto. Okay, and Billy Dibb is still. Sorry, I thought that was Brian Minto, but Billy Dibb is still. Yeah. I thought Billy Dibb retired.
I think he made a comeback. So okay. No, you're thinking about Blake Minto. Yeah. When Blake Minto came out, I was just as confused. So gotcha. I completely understand. But yeah,
is it a relation of Brian Minto or it's completely?
No. Okay. It's a completely different country, different everything. Ricky Silva is on the card, number 6 down there. He's fighting for
keep an eye out
Queensland. Yeah, I think we should definitely keep an eye out on it throughout his career. He's going to be a big name, I think. Especially he's got knockout, unanimous decision against Waikato, and then knockout again. So he's definitely a name to look up for. And he's a New Zealander that lives in the Gold Coast. So yeah. Okay, is this the final one? Yeah, it is the final one. So we've got a New Zealander fighting New Zealander. Peter Salas, Peter Salisui fighting Benjamin Kelleher. The Salisuis, they are a big fighting family. They've got fighters throughout multiple divisions, and they generally actually fight on the same cards, but this time they're not. Big fight, in my opinion. I mean, as a New Zealander fighting another New Zealander, we know Benjamin Kelleher quite well. He fought Mark Flanagan. Mark Flanagan won, and he fought Opatai. He won. But look at all the names he won against:
Waikato again.
Waikato, Quinton Carey, Patrick Ferguson is actually a proper big name.
Patrick Ferguson. That's the guy who beat what's his name? Patrick Ferguson. He fought on Craig Scott, right? He fought Wild Boy.
No. You're thinking about the
that's the guy. He beat Wild Boy.
Yeah. Let's see.
Panuve
Helu. Yeah, right here.
Oh man, he's still doing well. Okay. Oh no, he's okay. He's got okay.
He got a couple of losses, and then he started building himself in. But yes, Benjamin Kelleher actually fought and won.
He beat Patrick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he beat Patrick Kelleher.
Wow. This guy's pretty good.
Patrick Ferguson, I should say. Jaden Joseph, he beat Nicholas Charles Lumbus.
Whoa.
Yeah, like he's actually.
But Peter has a pretty solid record too. I mean, 8 wins, 7 by KO. That's pretty something. Yeah, and from a boxing family. But Benjamin has been going at this for a while. He's definitely a name to be. Correct. His record looks a little more tenable, like compared to
a little bit more polish with the names that he has actually fought. But
because they at least have some greens on this one. You can see some greens.
Yeah, but still, New Zealander versus New Zealander. This is going to be great.
This is. I mean, I love to keep an eye out for these.
Yeah, this is happening on this Saturday as well. Like the last fight, this is happening this Saturday as well. This is the main event, so I'm looking forward to seeing this happening.
Awesome, man! Good work keeping an eye out for this.
Yeah, and that's it. That's everything that's up. That's what's what.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. And so this is what's what.